All right, welcome back. Episode 4. We're live with the Ball Takes podcast. Drudar, how we doing?
We survived day one of first day back.
Oh, back to school.
Yeah.
Back to school for Drudar. And look, we got two very, very special guests with us today. We got my man Ben Woodward and my man Andrew Marbury, a.k.a. Marbs, two high school classmates of me and Drudar. And we're excited to have them on. Fellas, welcome to the pod. Anything you guys want to say? Welcome.
Man, it's good to be here. It's good to be here with you guys.
I don't know if you guys are going to post a video, but me and Ben shaved our heads for this.
Yeah, just for the Ball Takes pod.
Yeah, we need people to actually watch the YouTube video because Ben's got hair down to his shoulders and Marbs has a tight man bun. So
Marbs would be way longer than mine if he let it out. Yeah.
Marbs, can you let it out for the viewers real quick, or is that post draft? Oh wow, what a treat!
It's a little.
Oh my god!
A little bit longer than Ben.
What a treat!
There it goes.
Hey,
it's nice to be here, guys. You know, we've done a little bit of podcasting on our own. It's a little bit more of an esoteric type of fashion about our own fantasy football league. So, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm a little nervous about being out on the airwaves here. But
I don't know what esoteric means, but I'm glad you guys had us because me and Ben were dragging our feet for off-season pod. Now we can just lay this one out.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you guys about before we get going. So, real quick, for all you guys listening, we're going to do two main topics today. And the first one is going to be all about fantasy football and some fantasy stories from us, fantasy football stories from us.
Good clarification.
Yeah. Some preview of this year. But look, you guys are kind of y'all started your own fantasy football podcast way back in the day. Do you guys want to talk a little bit about that, when you started it and kind of the whole process of that?
Marbs, whose idea was it?
Oh, I don't remember exactly what triggered it. But it was back in, I want to say 2019.
18 or 19. Yeah, I can't remember.
And there's so many podcasts and you really got to find your niche. So we decided to go ahead and hit our target audience of 12 guys in our fantasy league and keep it very niche. So we dropped Ben and Deck's Fantasy Adventures, and this would be either year 7 or 8. But we try to do we'll do some of the fun things like the Mount Rushmore. We would do Fantasy 4, spin on it, just kind of talking ball, kind of keeping up with the league, making guesses. We would drop some prop bets. We added that the last couple of years. But it's a pretty good time, just a weekly check-in on where everybody's at. Got to make sure everybody remembers Sean's on a 8-game losing streak, so you got to have a podcast to do things like that.
And our listeners, I'd say, they max out at about 10 to 12, but they ebb and flow based on how people are doing in the league. So if we've got a devout listener that's doing well, you're definitely going to get a listen that week. If you've got a devout listener that's on an 8-game losing streak, you're probably not going to get listens
whoever
weeks 6, 7, 8. But in all seriousness, it's kind of a fun way to keep up with the fellas from high school. I mean, I'm not here to get all romantic this early on the pod, but it's now that we've been doing it for this long, it's fun. We enjoy it.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you guys. I don't know about y'all, and I'm the same way. I could care less how many people listen to it or watch it or anything. But we have these conversations together anyway, off recording. I don't know about y'all. I genuinely we've only done 4 episodes. I genuinely look forward to doing this and just shooting it and talking. Do you guys still look forward and by the way, the couple times I've been on, y'all do a great job. It was so much fun for me to come on for a little bit. The couple times I've done it, do y'all look forward to every week, getting that together and recording?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I like having the little prep and keeps you focused on the fantasy league, but it's definitely a nice time to hang out, always with Ben, and then having our guests on, try to get a weekly guest from the league. So definitely nice to stay plugged in with everybody.
Yeah.
I do
have a take as well. People talk about the August being this dead time in sports, unless you're as locked into the Braves as Drudar is. But this time pre-draft for me is so much fun because it's just the world is your oyster. It's like
Anything could happen.
you could end up with anybody, and you're going through and seeing who you like, and reading stuff from camp. And I haven't been that much on Hard Knocks this year, but I've been locked into Hard Knocks this year, which has been awesome. So like the August is all about like the opportunity, and so that's kind of the fun part for me. And then we're getting close.
Dude, the Hard Knocks part where like I got like the coach's voice saying like stay off the quarterback.
Yeah.
I got that stuck in my head. And like anytime I watch football now, I'm just like stay away from the quarterback. Like I get it.
It's stupid.
Dart, question
Hold
for you
on.
real quick.
Does the stay off the quarterback hit as hard as Liebman get off the sod?
No, Bobby.
That's the goal right there. If you know, you know.
I did try to. I was gonna wear this for the recording, but it was this is far too small.
Dude, mine would not even like cover half my upper body now. It's been rough.
Far too small.
I'm pretty sure I wore the baseball shorts until they legit like had a massive like rip in the middle.
Oh yeah, those Under Armour.
Like, they literally disintegrated off my body.
Yeah, it's rough. All right, so let's dive into some fantasy things, fellas. So, fantasy football things. All right, so first thing, this is the question I had, and I have my own opinion on it, but I want to hear y'all's first. Do you feel like, in general, like fantasy football has like lost a little momentum, like with you, or like in general, like in the past couple years? If so, why? And maybe you don't think so, but how do you guys feel about like the momentum of fantasy football, like in general, like where we are today?
Andrew?
As an industry, I would say it's peaking or heading towards its peak, because there's probably 10 different podcasts you could put on where 3 or 4 guys are dedicated with keeping up on player movement, injuries, training camp. There's like no lack of information. They create new statistics to dive into. So in that way, I wouldn't say it's dying out. More personally, I would say it. So my friend asked me if I would like to take over as commissioner in one of his leagues, and I was like, I'm good on the leagues that I've got. I don't want to do another one. Definitely don't want to be the commissioner of another league. So for me, I feel like I'm tapped out. I'm good with what I got. I've got a dynasty league, got BroFlow, got a work league, and then one other one with some college guys. And the work league was like a freebie one, so it wasn't as taxing. And that's 4 is plenty. 3 is probably plenty for most people, but I'm good with what I've got. So I don't know if it's dying out, but I would say that like it's definitely in its height. There are some, you cited here about betting. That's definitely it had always kind of been in that gray area, your fantasy leagues, right? So you could kind of get your fix of like, I'm betting on these players to do better than the other guys in my league. And that, it kind of gets taken over because now you could win money off of it if you're right. You could win in leagues, but it's different because it's season long and it's more like personally competitive than just putting your $10 down and hoping something's going to hit. So I don't know. They're in the same like Venn diagram, and betting might be taking some of it, but I would say it's pretty strong overall. We've got another, as long as the league's going, as long as NFL's kicking, there'll be fantasy football.
Yeah. When you sent this question in the agenda, I've been thinking a lot about it, and especially because of sports betting. Like I think a couple years ago, say when sports betting first like got legalized and was super popular, maybe fantasy did take a little bit of a step back. I feel like we're almost swinging past that. We're like, anybody that's got a sports betting account is like, all right, over the period of time, most people end up like a little bit down. And so it's like, I'm kind of like moving away from that and like back more firmly into fantasy for the reasons that Marb said. It's like you compete against your friends. It's season long. You kind of stake your claim on these players early on in the season, and then you ride with them, and those are like your guys for the year. And then like I know Dar, we were texting about the dynasty league. Like I won my dynasty league last year, so there's a little bit of that too. But like that part about it is really fun. there's absolutely no shortage of information, and like it may have almost even like been better when there was less information out, like when it was just like magazines off the racks and like whoever you liked watching to play. But there's definitely more competition, daily fantasy, betting, what have you, poly market, but like I don't think it's going anywhere. And for me personally, like I'm as interested in it as I ever have been.
I'll use this to segue into my weekly rant on whatever random topic we're going with. But um, you're talking. I mean, I'm in two leagues. I'm in a redraft league. I'm in a dynasty league. So like the redraft league is fun because it's something different. The dynasty league is where literally I spend the majority of my like energy and effort
Right.
in fantasy. You almost have to. It's literally year round. Like it sounds funny to say, but you're literally like paying extra attention to a random college game because
Yeah.
of a guy that you might be targeting with whatever pick. But I mean, I might be like a fantasy like diehard. I do I do fantasy baseball, I do fantasy basketball. Like I've won both those leagues in the last like 3 or 4 years. Not this past year. Before I won the redraft league and the dynasty league, and I brought home like over $1,000. It was outrageous.
Right.
Like the investment for like what I put in versus what I won. Like I literally won. Like I put in maybe $250 total for both leagues and ended up winning well over like $1,100.
Yeah, that keeps you coming back. If you knock off a win every couple
last year,
years.
and then last year I literally like my team just fell apart. Like I had a bunch of older guys. Like I purposely drafted opposite everybody else in our league. Went a lot older. Won the league year one. Year two, league kind of team started kind of falling apart, and I kind of just started shipping guys off. And I probably didn't get the best value of it, but it did lead me down a rabbit hole today of there's one funny trade that I made year one to boost my roster, and it kind of is funny to see kind of like the roots of that trade and like what everything came. So I ended up acquiring Bucky Irving, Curtis Samuel, and a 2025 fifth round pick for Jawan Jennings, a 2025 second, and a 2026 first. That 2025 fifth ended up being Aronde Gadsden, and I ended up trading him for Alec Pierce, like in a deal.
That's good stuff.
The downside of is outside of Jawan Jennings, I can deal with that. I don't remember who the 25 second became, but the 2026 first became Fernando Mendoza.
Oh.
But I'm not uberly stressed on that because I still have Lamar Jackson. He was my first pick, like number 4.
Ben loves that.
I do regret taking Tua second because it's a double quarterback. So I was really trying to lock in my quarterbacks. I mean, I got enough out of Tua to win a game for year one. I ended up trading him, but I ended up getting back in the first round year one, and I ended up in a trade that I got Jackson Dart, the last pick of the first. Or actually, the guy I traded with got him 10th. I had the 12th pick. I ended up trading my 2028 first and my 2025 first, which ended up being basically a 28 first and Ibuka for Jackson Dart because I really needed that second quarterback.
Drew, will you grade? Ben and I each had a trade recently in our dynasties. Give us each a grade on not with each other. These are just trades on their own. So Ben did win the ship last year, contending again this year. Your core is like Puka, Stafford, Bryce Young. So he had Malik Neighbors, and he traded Malik Neighbors to get Michael Wilson and a 2027 first and 2028 first. What's our grade there?
I'm trying to think about who Michael Wilson is. I'm not, like, that's not meant to be funny. Obviously,
the Cardinals' potential number one wide receiver.
Okay, you can't judge that trade until you see who the 27 first and the 28 first.
Right.
Once you have that information, that's when you could truly judge that trade.
They may be mid to late first.
Yeah.
But if we're projecting out right.
Yeah, I mean,
other
well,
teams
to be fair, neighbor's knee might be more cooked than mine, and that's saying something.
That is saying something. That's all right. What grade are we giving it? Is it a B, an A, a C?
I feel like
it's a lot of unknown.
I feel like a C is average because until you know, and then it has opportunity to go up or down depending on how those first.
So C plus.
Yeah. So like the
C+.
the rookie drafts are interesting because I got Gadsden in the 5th. They ended up being a very solid rookie. I got Dart.
How do y'all have 5 rounds?
Dude, I think I drafted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I drafted like 8 players this past year in this last draft. I recouped so many picks and we're just throwing darts.
We just do 3 rounds.
Yeah, we do 5 and there's a 12 man league.
Dang, yeah, ours is 12 and it's 3
We do
rounds.
5. I did get Gunnar Helm in free agency last year after the rookie draft, and he's expected to be tight end 1 in Tennessee this year.
Your free agents the waivers are dry. There's nobody on those waivers.
But we also do a taxi squad. Do y'all do the taxi squad?
Mm-hmm.
We have 4 taxi
squads.
spots.
We have 5 guys. You have to be first or second year to qualify for it.
Same.
And then and then I got I think I got in the second round last year. I got Elick Ayomanor, the guy from Stanford.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dar, if you spell
he's on Hard
spell
Knocks.
that.
Ayomanor. I had it written down. I cheated.
Hey, you could have said anything. I would have been like, "Yep, I
do like him, but I will say that the latest draft kind of buries him a little bit with all the guys they have. But I think he could potentially. I think not being number 1 could actually open him up more. Let's see. Gunnar Helm is wide receiver 1 because they're tight end literally signs. I mean, opportunity in general. And then this year, I had the last pick of the first. I got Chris Bell from Louisville, so I probably reached for that. But I was trying to think like Miami, like they really need some weapons. So if his knee's not cooked, I think either round 2 or 3, I got Carson Beck.
Okay, he'll probably start by the end of the year.
Hall of Fame game.
I'm in on the Cardinals.
And then I got a bunch of darts with late picks like Adam Randall, Bryce Lance. I think honestly the news about the injury today could be good. Reggie Virgil, Malin Klein. It's like a dude from Michigan who was like buried on the depth chart, but was a second round pick, tight end for the Texans. Josh Cameron, who's kind of just like
that guy has a great year this year. Dart had it first on the Ball Takes podcast.
But yeah, I mean, at this point, like all these guys are like guys that like I was driving home from the draft, and like I'm on the clock, and I'm just like looking at this sheet of like 80 names. I'm just like, this guy's the highest ranked guy. Boom, we'll just take him.
Yeah.
Right.
Just throwing darts. I really did want to try to get a quarterback, and I actually think Carson Beck could be a steal for kind of what's going on.
Yeah.
In that.
All right. I think you'll give me a good grade on my trade. This was with Evan. I gave him Chris Godwin, CJ Stroud, and then George Pickens was a big piece off of my side. And he sent back Cam Ward, Fernando Mendoza, Hetero McMillan, and his first round pick, which should be in the top half of the 2027 draft.
I definitely would lean more towards you. You got younger and like you picked up 2 potential like cornerstone pieces that.
Yeah, that's that could be awesome in like 2 years. Like if Cam Ward and Mendoza both pan out, like that could be really, really good.
I think I took a small step back in competing this year, moving George Pickens, but if he gives me like 70 to 80% of what George can do, I'll feel good. And
it also sounds like you sold high on CJ Stroud, who at this point has still just a little
he's pretty low.
He still has a little bit of value, but he's one more bad year away from having like negative value in terms
of replacement. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm holding on to Lamar Jackson. Like I probably could have unloaded him, but I have a guy in our league that has 3 first round picks.
No, he's going to win the MVP, and then
I could unload. But like, I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't have my own first round pick, so I have no incentive to tank. And my team is like borderline playoffs, borderline. Like, I'm not going to win anything unless I just get incredible fantasy luck, like bracket luck and fantasy luck.
Go trade one of those 5th round picks for JJ McCarthy. Fill out your quarterback.
Dude, I wouldn't touch JJ McCarthy with
go get 9.
With a 9.
Go get 9.
Hey, so I got a question for you guys. I think y'all can help me out. So, well, Mark, first thing, I think you kind of mentioned this, that you've cut back on a couple leagues, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that's kind of why I asked that original question was, I know for me too, like I got asked to be in a couple more leagues this year, and I said no for probably the first time. And I actually backed out of a couple leagues too. So I'm only doing 2 this year, like our league and then one with my family just for fun. So I still, by all means, I'm like locked into those leagues. But I do think in general, like wanting to do every single league, like I just couldn't take that anymore. Like Sundays, it almost got too stressful. Like I couldn't even enjoy it. And I do think the sports betting, then I'm with you. Like, I've backed off that a little bit too, just because, like you said, we're all going to lose. But that definitely impacted my like love a little bit for fantasy, because sports betting is so instant. Like, you can make a buck like that instead of having to wait 16 weeks. But my question for you guys was, you talk about different formats of leagues, right? So you guys are talking about Dynasty League. Like, I've never been in a Dynasty League. Like, what do y'all prefer? Like, do you like a redraft league? Do you like a Dynasty League more? Do you like a 2QB league? I know that's kind of two separate questions, but like, what's your like ideal format for like a fantasy football league?
Let me get on my campaign trail real quick, because both leagues that the Dynasty League, I can't really take credit for the format, but the redraft league, I was the biggest proponent pushing for this. Mostly because I got tired of getting roasted for carrying 2 kickers, because I'm like that guy that I want to have the backup for every position. So like I would waste a roster spot. So I would get roasted on that. But it's all fun and games when your kicker's on bye week and you're not starting Joe Schmo off the practice squad. But I'm in both my leagues. There's no kickers and no defenses. So you're only using offensive players and like skill players. So we do. The Dynasty League is a super flex, so it's a quarterback and the super flex. You can be anybody, but everybody obviously starts a quarterback if you have one. The redraft league is straight up 2 quarterback. And then we added extra flex positions for both leagues. I think it's like 3 receivers, 2 or 3 running backs, tight end, and then like 2 or 3 flexes. And it's more positions, but it decreases the waiver pool, so you really have to be kind of like on your game of who you're picking up, but it creates higher scores, more excitement, and a little bit, honestly, at times it creates a little bit more like league wide competitiveness, because you're not banking on luck. Like, you're not banking on a defense that's going to either get you 15 points or negative 15. You're not relying on the least athletic dude on the field making a field goal or missing a field goal to lose you a matchup. It's all about the guys who get paid the big bucks to actually like be out there and make plays.
See, I take a little bit of the opposite stance. I kind of like the parity of defense and kickers. Like, whenever there's been talk to remove those out of Broflo League, like I want to keep them, just because it's like, all right, if somebody gets a pick 6, if you got Steelers D and they get a pick 6, like that's
or that Patriots defense that was averaging like 20 points in fantasy.
And I've ridden some defenses to like championships, and so there's always going to be that there too. But to your initial question, Trey, like if I had to just pick one, I think I would say redraft. Part of the reason is because when we started our Dynasty League, I think it was 5 years ago, Marbs, maybe. I also didn't realize it was a super flex league, so that's on me. I think I had like the number 2 overall pick, and I took Nick Chubb. That didn't go so well. And so I was digging out of a hole for like basically 4 years. Thankfully, like, this gets you a good friend like Marbs. Marbs on 2 separate occasions is like, hey, this guy Puka Nacua is pretty good. You should draft him. I'm like, okay. Then he's like, this guy Trey McBride's pretty good. You should draft him. I was like, sounds good. And both of those guys have worked out extremely well. Honestly, like, I don't know what the situation was if you had different guys on your
roster was full. Yeah.
Maybe you had too much Michael Wilson on your bench.
I had Treylon Burks. Really need to keep him.
But Mark, do you want to give your number out real quick? That way, if like anybody listening can like call you and ask who they should draft for like the next 4 years.
No, I've kept him to the chest since Ben beat me last year. I was like, all right, I guess I deserve that. But in a way, I feel like I had a hand in it, so it's not as bad.
Once you're settled in Dynasty, though, it is fun.
Yeah, I feel like no matter what league you're in, Dynasty or redraft, if you're in a multiple quarterback league, your first pick almost has to be quarterback. You have to get a premier quarterback, or you are. A couple of years ago, the redraft league, my first pick was Lamar. My wraparound pick was Jaden Daniels his rookie year.
Oh, gold.
And I was getting almost 50 points a week alone for my 2 quarterbacks.
Vince, I'm with you. Like, the interesting thing to me about the kickers, and I can't remember who brought this up in the group chat, but I do kind of like the idea of like kickers. Like, if it's like a 48-yard field goal, like it's 4.8 instead of like 4 or whatever. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I kind of like that, because sometimes these matchups do come down to like 0.1 or 0.2, and a 48-yard field goal is harder than a 40-yard field goal. So like, I do kind of like the decimal thing for kickers, but
no, I'm 100% about it. Dan Carlson.
And give him a half point for being on the left hash, for the right hash, for down the middle.
Relax.
Some people don't like PPR because they feel like it overinflates, but like it adds it usually, to me, it equals out. So like I'm fine for like our dynasty league is half PPR.
Your good players
so,
are still good.
I do feel like half PPR is the perfect sweet spot. Like I'm not in any PPR leagues. I think all of my leagues now are like I'm in one with my college buddies, and for a while it was standard, and it just sucked because everyone it was like 86 to 78.
Yeah,
I was like, this is lame. But now that once you switch to half PPR, it just I feel like that's really the sweet spot.
You feel better about yourself. You're like, my team did. Even if you lose 110 to 105, you're like, cool. If you lose 80 to 75, you're like, we suck.
But you also get rewarded if you get like a running back that's average on the ground, but he brings in 4 or 5 points alone on catches. Like there's a strategy for drafting that. Like a Puka Nacua is way more valuable than a Justin Jefferson strictly because of how many targets he's going to get.
How many catches?
He's going to catch 14 screens a game.
Yeah, 100%.
I was in a league where you got a half point for first downs, kind of like that, since
I like that too.
It's valuable.
Devontae Adams might be the most valuable receiver in the league.
Yeah,
right.
Marv, that's Marv. You go ahead, man.
The other odd one that I've seen, I have a friend who's in a league where it's 5 catches equals 3 points, and if you don't get that 5th catch, you don't get any points. So that one can kind of come into play, because then it's not just Wan'Dale Robinson's probably locking up those 3 points for you, but you could have Ted Aroa could probably have 4 catches and 100 yards, but won't get that 5th catch for the 3 points. So kind of adds up and makes it you actually have to hit a milestone to get those points.
Right.
Do y'all go all in? Do y'all go all in each year, like in the redraft of your dynasty, with like a name change where like you're playing off a player with like your name?
No.
Broflow, I will do either something I think is funny, or I'll do a play on the team's name.
So I'll show y'all this, because if I don't speak, it's not going to show my camera, but I'm going to show you my team name for our redraft league. But like every year I do that. My dynasty team is just Bucky's, but it's like because I have Bucky Irving, so it's a play on obviously like Bucky.
Yeah, I thought you just like the gas.
That's
station.
Strong.
Yeah, I know, super creative.
They built a Bucky's in Burlington. Now all of a sudden that's Dart's team name.
I am super proud of my team name in this.
Was it Legion of Boom? I can't read it.
I can't either.
It says Big Ol and then Tet McMillan, so fill in the blank.
Okay.
All right. I got you. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Dart, you said you can edit, right?
We'll keep that in for the YouTubers.
That one might pass.
That won't pass.
Regarding formats, so the only league I would probably join at this point would be like a best ball draft, where you don't have to do anything during the season. You just draft your team and hope for the best. But if I was to get creative with like the roster, I do like having the 2 quarterbacks. It's not a deal breaker if it was just a 1 QB league. I think 3 wide receiver probably is closer to what's necessary just by the amount of player pool that there is. And we do an IDP, defensive player, in our dynasty. I like having that, but it is like the way our settings are, it's a little too heavy to the linebackers or players that would get a lot of tackles.
Yeah.
But I like having that variance in there, that you could have a guy get a pick 6 and swing your game. We all thought, well, not all, but a lot of people thought that the game breaker would be Travis Hunter playing on both. Put him in your IDP spot and you get wide receiver points, but it hasn't come to fruition yet. We'll see. I kind of like him in redraft still.
So, I got a question. So you guys individually, right? Okay, this is a 2-parter. Do you feel like you've hit your prime in fantasy, or do you feel like you're just in your prime?
I'm past it.
And then, like, what part of fantasy do you think is like luck versus skill? Like, honestly, like, how much do you think of being successful in fantasy skill versus just luck?
So there's a combination of both for sure.
Okay.
The first part of your question is I am past my prime. And I'll tell you when my prime was. It was 2019. I took, I think, second or third round Aaron Rodgers. 12th round, I took this upstart quarterback that had just come out of Louisville named Lamar Jackson, and then it was gangbusters. And like at that point, like Dar, you were talking about just like throwing darts at the end of the draft. Like I'm just like, okay, maybe this guy will hit running quarterback. We'll see, and then he wins MVP. And like that was awesome. I rode him to the ship, but like that was lucky. I could have drafted anybody there towards the end of that draft. And so like that also like coincided, like my wife's a Ravens fan and she's from Maryland. And so I was like, all right, obviously I'm still a Panthers fan, but now like the Lamar's my guy and like the Ravens are my team. And so now it's been 7 years since then, but like that was firmly my peak. Like I think I'm pretty certain of that.
My peak was a 3-year window of going to the finals in Broflo and losing every year. So
The Buffalo Bills.
Didn't even get, yeah. I did win a big
close.
I won a big money league that the first year I was in the finals for Broflo, but haven't sniffed anything since. So that was definitely, maybe Dynasty will come around. I'm really fingers crossed. Ben's going to be a tough competitor for another few years. But yeah, I think I definitely peaked. I barely made the playoffs last year, keeping the streak alive. My team had no business being there. We'll see what happens this year. When it comes to luck versus skill, I think if you prepare, there's like a balance. Like you can't do too much. You get stuck in your own head. Like looking back at last year's draft, I had way too much on the rookies or unproven players, and it bit me. So I feel like if I had just been like, I don't know who those guys are, I'm going to go with Jaylen Warren instead of whatever player I picked, get those points that from a recognizable name. But it's still, you want to know what's going on. But once you get to the playoffs, like it's definitely a lot of luck. I think in me and Ben's dynasty matchup, I was feeling good when Derrick Henry dropped 45. And then it came down to like the last possession for the Rams, and Puka scored a touchdown, and he had the stack. So that one hurt to lose by 2 there. And even I think I had my defensive player blocked a kick in that, so it was really close, and could have gone either way. But yeah, at the end of the day, it is definitely luck for those final few games. Yeah, I feel like your skill gets you to the playoffs, and luck takes you to a ship.
I think that's perfectly said. Like the skill in it gets you like a high floor, right? Like when I think about skill, like Trey, like when you won in 2024 and you picked BTJ and Neighbors both as rookies and they both went off, like that's a skillful pick. Like you knew these guys were going to come in and ball out. Obviously there's a little bit of luck that they balled out as much as they did, but like you knew who those guys were coming in. And so like that's like the skill part of it that like really raises your floor for your team.
I agree with y'all. I think you have to have some sort of like knowledge and skill to like give your team a chance. Right. But then like whatever happens after that, Marb, whatever that quote was you said like needs to be on a t-shirt. But like then from that point, like I agree, it is kind of lucky who wins. Like when injuries happen, like you're playing a guy 1 week and he goes crazy for 45. Like you can't do anything about that. But it does take some skill to at least give your team a chance.
Right. So what do we think about Ian? Like if you get last in a league like multiple times, like does that
could be?
I feel like he might over prepare.
You get relegated.
Dude, I'm pulling for Ian this year. Like I hope Ian has a great. He cares. Like, and I respect that. Like he wants to do good.
That's the thing.
He wants.
If we did another league, it should be a Broflo Junior, and it should be a relegation league.
Like
the bottom four,
the Premier League,
top 4 come up. Yeah, have a smaller six-man league or 8-man league, and the top half can come up. You got to fight your way back up. That'd be funny.
Marv, I kind of like we don't even need like punishments anymore. Your punishment is you don't even get to play. You don't take your ball and go home. Like you're done. You don't get a punishment.
Bill Simmons has
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Bill Simmons has a league where there's 13 guys for a 12-man league, and the winner from the previous year tells the guy who isn't going to be in the league next year. They all go to the draft day. 13 guys show up, and then the winner goes, "You're out," and you just have to leave.
I would
think
feel
that's in
so
play.
bad.
Yeah,
I know.
I think that's in play though.
I would just boot out
This
the
year would
last
be
place
good.
person just to get out of that.
No, I would
simple.
kick Connor out
I think you got the clip that
at his house.
Yeah, can we still have the draft and get torches?
Yes,
or
yeah.
no?
We draft at Connor's house. We've all eaten, and the draft is about to start. And I said, Connor, you're out of here.
You're gone.
Go to your room.
That would be my fantasy peak. That's the dream.
That would be the repeat.
Yeah,
Torchies is an elite choice though for the food though.
Yeah,
for sure.
Marbs, did you retire after that and just call it a career?
I would. Yeah, I would be like,
You'll
I
give
don't
him the
even
spot
put
back.
me on auto
You'll
draft.
quit.
Yeah.
You'll quit and give him the
You
spot
can
back.
you can draft my team. No.
No,
what do you think about?
I think my
fault.
fantasy peak was 2023 to 25 because I won in that
Dart
span.
started young,
He-
03.
in that
He's a
span-
he's a fancy guy.
in that in that span I won a fantasy baseball championship, 2 fantasy basketball championships, and then both fantasy football championships. I think that kind of like was like a run of like I just need to hang it up. I don't remember what year it was, but I do remember having a fantasy team my dad drafted for me that had Corin Robinson, so that should tell you how long ago the fantasy thing started.
My first league was like freshman year or sophomore year of high school, I think.
Yeah,
I did have Sean
I-
Alexander the year he went off.
He was tough.
the OG.
I
LaDainian
picked up
Tomlinson,
Brandon
Sean
Lloyd,
Alexander.
and he had an unreal season.
Speaking, we were talking about like this is not a movie, but just kind of going back before I get to my luck part. One of my all-time favorite shows is The League. If you've never seen it,
Very
It's
quotable. It's a good one.
phenomenal. If you love fantasy football, it's hilarious.
I've seen what is it's not from the league. What's is it from 40-Year-Old Virgin or Knocked Up, where it's like fantasy night and he shows up and he's wearing like a fantasy costume.
It's knocked up, I think. I'm pretty
Everybody
sure.
else is wearing Orioles jerseys.
If they were still doing The League today, someone would absolutely draft Brian Robinson instead of Bijan Robinson.
100%.
And that would be just hilarious. Fantasy to me is 70% luck and 30% skill. The 30% skill comes to your drafting. So like you're spending, like you're targeting the players you want, and then the rest of it's out of your hands because you're literally at the mercy of matchups. Like 1 week, the week you really need to win, you have all your players have like horrendous matchups. Or the week, or you're playing the worst placed team in the league who's been terrible, and every single player they have is playing against the Jets. Or something like that. So like you look up and like the team hasn't scored 140 points combined in 3 weeks, and they drop 150 on your head. It just all comes down to like you're literally you set your lineup, but you legit have no control. Lamar Jackson could drop 30 points 5 straight weeks, and then you get to the championship game and he puts up 10 points with 3 interceptions. Like you're literally just at the mercy of the fantasy gods and the matchup gods, and then there's bracket luck. Like you run into the hottest team in the league at the worst possible time. Your team has this worst week all year and the first playoff game. Like there's just so many uncontrollables that like it's hard to think it doesn't lean anything more than 70-30.
Well, I should know this, Dart. I'm glad you said that. You know how like each league, a certain amount of teams like guaranteed playoff. Then like, well, I guess what I'm saying is our league that we do, is it all based on record or the last couple of spots like points for? Because to Dar's point, like I like when maybe like 4 teams get on based on record, right? But then the next 2 or 4, whatever, is not based on your record. It's how many points you score. Because to me,
our fantasy baseball league, I would have been the 6th. I would have been the 6th by record. Granted, I literally played the hardest schedule in our fantasy baseball league. I played the top teams, every top team twice. On top of that, I ended the season on an L5. The guy that hawked me for the 5th spot finished on a W4. Like the worst possible Like, I just literally was like, if I had a good week, the person I'm playing had a better week. If I had or my pitchers would all go like negative, like everything. But no, the top 5 made it based on record, and then the number 6 spot was by points for, and the dude in our league that got the points for was like 4 and like 12, but had like the 4th most points for in the league. So I think the points
Drew,
for
have you
is
ever
good because
done
it kind of takes away your schedule. Like, you may have a different schedule than someone else, or you just have poor luck. So the points for kind of rewards your team for still being a wagon despite having terrible schedule luck.
Have you done a median scoring league where you do get a win for
So
scoring more than the other half of the league?
league, you play your opponent and you play the league.
In the
So
median.
you have a chance to go 1-1, 0-2, or 2-0 each week.
I've heard of that.
I like that.
It's really fun because if you have a really good week and you lose, but you go 1-1, it's great.
That's
when
fine.
you go 2-0, it's
Right.
awesome. When you go 0-2, you feel like your world ends. And the worst part is the worst 0-2 or 1-1 though is when you're ahead of the median the entire week, and then the last play of the Monday night game
bumps
the median up, and you lose it by like 1 point. I lost a matchup and the median combined by like 0.5 at one point last year.
Dar, what's going through your brain Tuesday morning after you go 0-2 and that like 5:30 alarm hits for work? Like, what's going through your brain?
First thing I do is so it sounds funny. If I say it say I do no. Here's how my brain works. This is they need to do a study on the ADHD brain. If I have a bet that goes into like the late game, so like even if it's like football, basketball, baseball, like there's like a late game that's not going to end until after midnight, or it's fantasy football and like I don't care about the game. I'm going to sleep because I'm not expecting to win, or I'm up big, or the median hasn't been decided. I will wake up like 14,000 times through the night and check my phone to see the progress on it and go back to sleep. Like, I will get no sleep because I'm just checking my phone every 2 minutes because I'm like anxious about what's going on instead of just watching it. I'm just like, it's like the Cavs in the playoffs. Like, I got superstitious where I couldn't watch them because that's when I watched them, they sucked, and if I stopped, they'd come back. So like the game they blew to the Knicks, I'm like looking at my phone like, all right, we're up by 20. All right, we're up by 15. We're up by 12. Okay, we're up by 8 with 2 minutes to go, and then it's thinking we lost. I'm just like mad. I'm like super angry, and I didn't even watch the game. I'm just mad at the whole process, and I couldn't do anything else.
This is turned into like a therapy session for Drew Dar. Hey, all right. So real quick, I got a couple like quick hitters. One more thing. Then we can get to. I'm excited for our Mount Rushmore draft.
Oh yeah.
All right. So anybody take this? Like, do you have a favorite player, or like, did you have a go-to player that you would like always try to get in your team, or opposite? Is there a guy that you have had that you will like never ever get again because of what he's done to your team? Like, either way.
I know yours, Trey.
Who?
Yours is Pitts. You're out on
Hey, man, I'll cross that off on my notes. I will never get that Joker again. Never.
You say that so in round 14 he's still sitting on the board. Like, this is good value around 14.
My favorite player I ever got was Santana Moss. I'd always, back to the old days, he was always my dude.
Hey, I used to love Ben because when Sean Taylor died, every time he got a first, he would do like the 2, the 1, like first. Yep. I love Santana. 89. He was a dog.
Such a beast. A beast. And that was when like Steve Smith was in his prime too, and they were kind of the same like body type.
They were
smaller receivers, but both still wore the big numbers. And I think I had him like 3 or 4 years in a row. Like, he was the man.
Tough. That's a good one.
I do my best every year to get Lamar Jackson if I can. Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen.
Dar, you're back in Ben's good graces after giving his trade at C+. Now he's like, all right.
Yeah.
I said C+, room to grow. There was room to grow. And then if I had
you let me know in 2028, all right?
I will. If I had to pick a player or players that never draft, I'm not touching an Eagles wide receiver ever again. With a draft pick.
Yeah.
Did you get better with
AJ Brown would have been one of those guys.
AJ Brown and Devontae Smith back-to-back years.
I probably would have put AJ Brown as one of the guys that I do like to have, but I don't know anymore. I had him he was on my startup in Dynasty, traded him away, got him back. he sucked the year that I got him back. Not sucked. He was just so like mercurial. You didn't know what you were gonna get.
Right.
I think that Dynasty has kind of changed my mindset on players. Like, there's really no one that I'm like, I gotta keep them or I gotta get rid of them. It's like, all right, can I trade George Pickens and get Tet and a bunch of other players? Like that it makes more of a difference to me now than in the past of just like I like George Pickens. I would have loved to keep him on the team, but you get all this offered to you, you got to take it. So um, it's almost blasphemous for me to say this, but I would probably put Drake May as one of my favorite players. Like, I would like to draft him this year. He's on my dynasty team. He carried me last year. Tucker Kraft is up there for me. They were the only reason I was any good in redraft, but I traded Tucker Kraft in dynasty too. So back to my original point, it's tough for me to be like, this is who I have to have, and I'll go out of my way to get them. It is a lot more value based at this point after playing for a few years.
I really like Drake May. Like, as a state guy, like Drake May's a hard dude not to
chill,
like.
Ben. We all know where he went to college, but he never beat
he's just
state.
a normal guy. No,
he never beat state, so we're good.
Is Evan Murray getting Julio Jones this year or not?
Yeah, that is it. That's his go-to for sure.
I will. To your point about the league, one of the other things that would happen is that somebody would draft Gronk after he retired. I think
Antonio Brown's an all-time.
Yeah.
You never know.
Because when you do it live and you just have the stickers, like you don't have like the ESPN settings to like lean back on. Like Gronk was just there, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Rob Gronkowski."
This is a name I know.
So I legit think somebody would have Tom Brady ranked higher than some of these backup quarterbacks too.
Oh yeah.
Somebody could have got Phillip Rivers last year, and
that's what I was gonna say. I might stash Rivers this year just in case. All right, so hey, any of you guys want to take it? So let's talk players real quick, like maybe 5 minutes, just on some stuff for this year, and then we'll move on if you guys are cool with that.
Yeah.
You guys, does anybody want to take a shot at just like projecting like who you feel like the top 5 picks are, like overall? Like if you had picks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like what would be your top 5 fantasy players coming up for this year?
Is it a single quarterback league or a double quarterback league?
Let's just do this. Let's say no quarterbacks. Let's do just like imagine it's a 1 quarterback league. So like I would probably say running back, pretty much running back or receiver, right?
Right.
Let's just do who you feel like the top 5.
I would still go quarterback first pick in a 1 quarterback league.
Oh
wow, that might be the top.
If you can get Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, they're going to put up just as many points as any other position player.
Enough to take them first in a single quarterback league?
Those guys are putting up 30 more consistently than any other position.
Hey, can we add Dar as our 13th and then do the relegation? Wait, Dar, give us your top 5 then. You go first. Give us who would be your top 5? I respect it.
And this is in no order, but I would put Josh Allen.
No, it's got to be order. It's got to be order.
In order. So it's a 1 quarterback league.
Yep.
Yeah. So if I'm thinking like the masses and not just myself, because like I said, if it was me, my first pick would either be Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson.
Give us yours.
I would put. So the safe pick at number 1, if I was going between the 2 quarterbacks, would be Josh Allen. The higher upside ceiling pick would be Lamar.
Who's your number 1?
I said first, Josh Allen is safer. Lamar number 2 is the higher ceiling, and then Bijan, Puka, and then it would be between Saquon and Chase. But Saquon would piss me off because I'd be mad at how many touchdowns Jalen Hurts takes away from him.
Okay, fair.
I like having Saquon in there.
All right,
I like that, Dar. Ben, what you got?
For me, underrated.
It's Gibbs this year for me. I think Gibbs is going to be awesome. Bijan, I think will be taken in the top few picks. I don't know about the Falcons. It's kind of like that lack of Kyle Pitts trust sort of just infects the rest of the Falcons for me. Yeah. And then I think Jonathan Taylor is going to have another awesome year. I think he's going to be really good. And then it's probably like Chase, Puka, like, I don't know, JSN, Amon-Ra, like those wide receivers. And it's just kind of where the draft picks fall. But like the I wouldn't like in our league, for example, I wouldn't be surprised if it was 3 running backs off the board first and Jonathan Taylor third.
Dude, I really I was looking at like ESPN, like their projections just like overall. And like they had Taylor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The one that I looked at 7. But dude, I'm with you. I think he's gonna be filthy. Like, and they got Daniel Jones back, like run, play at like I think he's gonna be a dog.
He's gonna be good. He's gonna be really.
I agree Gibbs is the clear 101. I don't think he's gonna go 101 in our league. But I think that the offense is great. Don't have to worry about David Montgomery. He catches passes. He literally does everything that you want in fantasy. So he would be number 1. I think you got to go Puka number 2. He's just like a manimal out there, like running through glass in the off season. All he thinks about is football and being an idiot. You know, it's a winning combination for guys like Gronk and him. Then I go Jamar Chase because he could definitely finish as wide receiver 1 as long as Burrow's healthy. He stays healthy. I got to go with JSN. That's probably who I should have said for like a guy that I always want to get. He is probably untouchable on my dynasty team. And then I would round it out with Bijan because I do think that offense could just suck. Bijan will catch passes. He just might not have the same amount of touchdowns that Gibbs does. And if I was to throw a wild card in there, I'll put Derrick Henry in there since we're throwing out some out of range quarterback. So that's my 6th guy, I guess, my honorable mention. Him and Gibbs are projected the most rushing touchdowns. So I feel like he's got one more in the tank.
I got to see him fall off before I like stop trusting.
Yep.
Well, hey, this is a question for you guys, and it just came to me like off the top of my head. You know, if like in sports when a guy usually has like a breakout year, right? Or like a team has a breakout year. The next year there might be like a little bit of like, I hate to say like regression to the mean or something. You know what I'm saying? Like where they're still really good, but it's hard to like ever get back unless you're just like, you know, one of the best of all time. It's hard to maybe get back to that like peak. Marbs, I'm not calling this dude out. I think he's nasty. But do you think JSN is like that good as he was last year? Like it will continue to be that good?
The stuff he is like a tactician at the wide receiver position. Like everything he does has a purpose. All of his movements. I mean, you could watch a 5-minute clip of just his head fakes, and he's gonna get he had bad games, but it was like a Monday or Thursday night game, and he hadn't done anything, but he caught the ball, got out of bounds so they could hit the game-winning field goal. Like he's just like, I mean, he's not gonna have the same ceiling that Chase or Puka has because of the style of play, the offense, but he could do everything that they do, and his hands are just like pure. He's not going to drop the ball. I mean, he ran DK out of that offense. They didn't need him because he was that good. So I say JSN is like, I think that he's the best wide receiver, but I don't think that he's the best fantasy wide receiver because of the offense that he plays in. He's going to get like 30-40% of the targets.
We lost Marbs and just got Todd McShay on the pod talking about head fakes and tactics and route runners. Shout out to Todd McShay for joining the draft. All right, so when we talk about position groups, like quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end, right? Let's start QB. Is there like a guy that you feel like could be a sleeper? You can define sleeper any way you want. Like a sleeper QB who could put up like a big year. Dar, you want to go? Do you have, or whoever has one first? Like, if you have a sleeper QB you want to throw out there, you feel like you have a great year.
I got one, and he's also my pick for MVP this year, and he's third on the odds board, so it's not that much of a sleeper. But I think as far as fantasy quarterback sleepers go, I think it's Joe Burrow. I think it's time. I think Joe Burrow is going to just go nuclear this year. So he would be maybe sixth round or so. If he's on Dar's board, he probably goes 5th overall. But I think Burrow this year is gonna go crazy.
Great, I like that. That's a good pick.
Because the only reason I go quarterback early is because usually, and I'm in keeper leagues, my keepers are usually running back and receiver. This year I have Bucky and Tet, so I can afford to go quarterback first overall because I already have 2 stalwarts.
Changing the rules a little bit, but okay.
Dang, Tet's already a stalwart. Let's go.
I like to. We do. Somebody's got to catch passes in that offense.
Facts.
Hey, Bryce Young's having the best camp he's ever had.
Marge, is that your
the summer camps he went?
Yeah,
is that your
sleeper?
sleeper? Yeah.
Oh no,
That's like my twist. Nah.
I'm hopeful, but
If we're talking about fantasy sleepers, I would 100% go Bo Nix would be my pick.
That's exactly
like
who
that.
I was thinking.
I really like that.
He's a very sneaky good. I had him with Josh Allen last year.
Yeah, I think he's always been a QB1, so top 12 quarterback. But adding Jalen Waddle should really help him out. I think some of his wide receivers let him down. It just should help him concentrate. Like, this is where the ball's got to go, or he can use his legs. And I guess Sean Payton's a good coach. He gets a lot of glaze from the league. I saw somebody was like, he's just Mike McCarthy with better publicity. They both have a championship from MVP caliber quarterbacks, haven't done much else. And at least McCarthy never had Bounty Gate. So I'm not as in on Sean Payton as I think everybody else is. I could see their team taking a step back, but I imagine that it's the Patriots that take a step back and that the Broncos can be the AFC champs.
What do you guys think about my sleeper quarterback was Dak Prescott, and I'm like not a Cowboys fan.
I've got a Dak MVP ticket.
If he stays healthy, like I feel like they are going to be really good this year, and it's a big if. Like I think we always think the Cowboys could be good, but I mean he's got what Pickens? You still have Pickens, right?
Pickens and CD.
CD Lamb. Ferguson's good. Like
Javonte Williams is a good running back.
Javonte Williams, I think the Cowboys are going to be good this year. And like, even if they're not good
Brian
on
Flournoy
team,
could be a wide receiver 2 for a lot of teams, and he's their wide receiver 3. I like Dak. Ian was trying to throw some shade at the Cowboys, talking about they can't find the end zone. They were 7th in scoring. They could be one of the top 5 scoring teams this year.
And I don't know about y'all. I feel like teams that play in a dome just automatically feel like they're better offense.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's just like the ball.
That's why I like Gibbs.
That's what I'm saying. It just feels like they're going to put up points. All right, let's do this. Instead of, we don't have to go position by position, but do you have any other sleepers you guys just want to share? Like any other offensive players that, and even if it's like a big name, but you feel like maybe people are asleep on them a little bit. Any sleepers you guys want to give out?
I have a few.
Okay,
got a real deep one.
I think I'm biased because I have all these guys on my dynasty team, but Christian Watson.
Just give us your dynasty roster.
No.
Read it down.
Christian Watson's one of them. Isaiah Likely.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one.
Yeah.
He's now with Dart. I said Bryce Lance as a rookie, as someone because just based on opportunity. I mean, they just lost.
Is he on the Saints? Or is he Miami?
He's on the Saints.
Okay. And Tyson went down.
The Saints don't have, outside of Olave, they don't have a clear pecking order with what they're doing. And they said, I mean, reading up on it, he's been like turned into their Shaheed.
Gadget. Okay.
Send in deep and throw a bomb. And if he catches one bomb a game, that's pretty good for a dart throw. And then last year, Alec Pierce was one of my breakouts. I mean, I traded for him and he ended up being really good. So I actually think Josh Downs is going to have a pretty good year if Daniel Jones can be healthy.
A lot of Carolina love on this pod, the search.
Well, Josh Downs is also a member of my team. My team likes Josh Downs.
So,
I was going to say something else, but I had to catch myself there.
I have two. One of them, like, he's not really a sleeper because we are in the great state of North Carolina, but Jalen Coker, like, if you're drafting in California or New York or whatever, and you're not like locked into the Panthers, like I think Coker's going to go off. Like he's going to get drafted above what his ADP in our league for sure, just because you want a piece of the Panthers and like he's cool. And then I also like he'll go in the first couple rounds, but we hadn't said his name yet. Jeremiah Love runs like Adrian Peterson. I saw like a couple highlights come out of the first preseason game, and like he like got through the first line, got past the linebackers and started galloping. And I was like, oh, and so like, I saw it on Twitter. Like I didn't like make this up, but someone's like, y'all know who he's running. Like, I was like, yes, 28. Like he could be, dome team Falcons, like Cardinals. They can be good.
He's got to get that ankle fixed.
Well, yeah.
They got time.
I like rookie running backs. Not to cut you off, Marbs. Like I feel like rookie running backs, their legs are still fresh, and like I like drafting a rookie running back. So I like Jeremiah Love. That's a good one.
I thought you were gonna kind of swerve there. Jadarian Prince on Hard Knocks, he's been showing out.
Oh yeah.
Backup for Love, and now he's going to get the starting role. But
Yeah.
the sleepers, I'll go 2 sleepers, and I'll stick with the Hard Knocks there. I think Rashid Shaheed could definitely have a good season. It's JSN's team, obviously, but they will work him in. And Sam Darnold can chuck the ball. They really didn't ask him to do that much last year. So if their defense does happen to take a step back, then there could be opportunity to score some more points. And then I would say I would imagine this guy's going undrafted or going very late, but I'm gonna go Dontavian Wicks, which I imagine you guys heard his name and been disappointed by him if you did ever pick him up. But Mekhi Lemon is injured for the Eagles, and somebody's got to catch the ball now. AJ Brown's gone. Obviously, they have Devontae Smith, but I would think that Wicks, if he can get his hands right and catch the ball when he's open, he gets open a lot. So I like him as like a way late, like, let's see what happens. I think their offense should be a little bit better. And Hurts kind of has to prove himself. So it'd be nice if he threw the ball around instead of just ran up behind his center.
My work pad now just has a bunch of work stuff on it, and then it just says Dontavian Wicks.
I wrote down all of these names, so this is like my research for the year.
You guys want to hear? I have one more funny, like for my Dynasty League. Like this one has local roots for a good reason. So one of my last trades, like again, I like to I tracked it today to kind of see like what all these picks turned in. So I did a trade, Christian Watson, and ended up being Chris Bell for a 2026 first. So I got Chris Bell for that first, Christian Watson, and the first that I traded ended up being Casey Concepcion.
Oh,
nice. Solid.
So it ended up being Christian Watson and Chris Bell for Casey. So we'll see how that one turns out, whether it's going to be good or bad for my future.
I might need like weekly updates on your dynasty team if I can just like plug in on that.
We're gonna be in that really crappy area called the definition of mid, where we don't have a first round pick. So there's no incentive to really sell unless you can recoup a lot of first. And I'm not winning anything, so I'm kind of stuck in no man's land right now.
You'll be in the play-in game.
Me and Ben did dynasty right. We sucked for 4 or 5 years and then made it to the finals.
That was great.
I won year 1, so I guess I just went ahead and got a taste of victory.
Hey,
I got forever.
I got one name for y'all, and I don't know if you guys would consider this a sleeper. Kenneth Walker. Yeah. Like I think he's with the Chiefs now, right?
Yeah.
Looking at their depth chart, maybe I'm not the smartest. Don't see a ton behind him. I also feel like the Chiefs are in kind of a prove it year. To get back where they were. He's coming off like he was elite last year, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Like I had him on my fantasy team. He was elite in the playoffs, like the NFL playoffs. But Charbonnet would steal all the touchdowns. So he's fresh. He should be pretty fresh.
So he's riding high right now. He's coming off the playoff run. But they had him like 8 on fantasy for running backs, which that could be a fair spot to have him. But that's a guy, if I have a chance to pick him at the right spot, I think Kenneth Walker could have a big year with the Chiefs trying to bounce back and get to where they have been. That's kind of the only one. I appreciate you guys because I wrote every single one of those down. So like I'm ready for the draft now. Hey, so real quick before we move on, is there any other just like closing thoughts you guys have about fantasy or anything else you guys want to share, bring up, or anything before we move on to our the part I'm most excited about for the day?
I could go on and on about why an auction draft is better than a snake draft, but I'll leave that for another day.
We can cut this part.
Hey, we'll just give Marbs like his soliloquy and just like if that's the right word, and just let him go for
you'll hear it at the draft. Got to vote on it one more time.
Hey, Marbs, while we're doing our draft of Mount Rushmore, you just keep talking about like auction draft, and we'll just see what the listeners like pick up on.
Let's test Dar's editing skills.
We'll make it B-roll.
All right, Dar, do you want to introduce what we're going to do next for the next segment?
Yeah, so Trey and I kind of discussed this, and
this is Ben's. I got to give Ben the credit first.
Yeah. I mean, Ben came up with the idea, and shout outs to Tony Romo.
That was the inspiration.
And before we start, I gotta ask: are we doing this with shoes on or shoes off?
Off.
That's in his on his tape. Let's stretch it out.
I was gonna see who caught that. See who the real ball knowers are. So I mean, so Trey mentioned like a snake draft, and I first kind of pushed back, and I was like, because I made a list. I was like, I feel like we all have different lists, but he made a good point of instead of having to listen to me be long winded on my list, we just do a draft to make it more fun.
Oh
so,
yeah, I think
I'm really gonna be
4.
I'm really gonna be digging deep to when some of my names probably get stolen, but
so let's do this.
Ball knowledge.
So we're going to do, for everyone, we're going to do a Mount Rushmore draft, which means we're each going to get 4 selections of like sports media people, right? So Marbs, your only caveat was it has to be on some sort of like has to now or had to be on some sort of live broadcast, correct? So for example, like we can't choose SVP for his show, or like I love Ryan Russillo. We can't choose Ryan Russillo because he's just like a podcast host.
Correct.
Okay. Marbs or Ben, do one of you guys want to go? Like, I'll go last. Dark can go third. Does one of you guys want to go first?
Marbs, you go first.
All right.
All right.
Let me get my list up.
How deep is y'all's list? Like, how many names do you have on your sheet?
I have 9
I think I've got 10
down.
names here. Yeah, I'm at 9 or 10 names.
I got 21.
A bunch of good ones.
I had 5 written down, so I'm going ball knowledge.
There's going to be plenty of honorable mentions. This isn't. I guess I should go the 101. Like I have the top pick, so I'm going to go John Madden as the top commenter. Was that not on your big board, Trey?
Dude, he was not even on my list. I saw 21. Great pick though. Great pick though.
Well, when doing my research, because very obviously you've got the video game named after him. He was a coach, but he's best known for his commentary, or maybe the video game. I'm not sure. Can't say that I listened to many of his broadcasts, but just as respect to him, I feel like I got to go number 1, John Madden.
I can't see John Madden not think of Frank Caliendo.
I know.
Impression.
It's like Gruden. Frank Caliendo sounds more like Gruden than Gruden.
Well, I don't remember whose podcast it was I was listening to said that. I think Charles Barkley was being interviewed, and John Madden had called Charles Barkley. He was like, "Charles, what do you think of this Frank Caliendo guy? I'm trying to get some people together so we can stop him because he just was not a fan of the impressions." Barkley was like, "Look, man, it's flattery. You got to let that one go." It's like, all right, Chuck, and went back to his golf course or whatever. Yeah, he was not a fan of Caliendo.
So I got 2 up here up top, and I think I can get my second guy in the second round when we come back around. So I got to go with number 1. I'm going to go Vern Lundquist.
Gosh, Vern on my list.
In your life.
Dude, that is a good pick.
Just an OG. He held down Amen Corner, and then when the picture came out in Tiger's last Masters of him behind the tree, and it was Tiger, it looked like Tiger shaking hands with the tree. That just like is that's an image that's just going to go down in history. It has nothing to do with him calling any sports, but if you're just thinking about an integral part of my childhood watching sports, Vern 1-1 for me.
He also was great on he used to be SEC football, the 3:30 game.
Like,
he just great. Those are 2 great things: the SEC football and the Masters.
The Masters. I mean,
great pick.
I'm taking the legend of energy. Some of the best calls of all time. I'm taking Gus Johnson.
Great pick.
There was a 0% chance Gus Johnson was getting past me.
Oh my gosh! I should have taken
0.
That's a great pick.
And keep in mind when you're making your first pick that I'm taking the number 1 pick for all of us, and I'm putting a video together of their best calls.
I know.
For the social media, so I'm only doing it for first, so I'm going to take everybody's first call. I'm going to individually cut it up, and I'm going to add their like famous calls that we have. So I'm excited to dig into Gus Johnson and find it.
Gus Johnson would just be screaming like a random catch. Whoa!
No, I need the Denzel. I think I'm going with the Denzel Ward one.
Oh yeah.
Maserati Marv.
Dar, that's a fantastic pick.
From the parking lot.
I get 2 picks here, right?
You got 2.
Shout out to Carl Holder too. There's a Gus Johnson call. He's like, sorry, yeah, Dar. It was Sorrentine. He's from the parking. Yeah, dude, that was
I think it's the Valparaiso game with the Valpo guys.
Yeah, it is. No, I think it was like Vermont. It was an NCAA tournament game or something.
It was Vermont.
All right, so I love my 2 picks here, boys. So I'm going Chris Berman.
Nice.
Like the home run derby, back, or like the Sunday night football. Whoop! Like Chris Berman was electric.
Fastest 2 minutes.
No one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills. I'm going Berman. And then this guy, I'm going him not for necessarily a legendary call, but I feel like he does so much, and I'm kind of jealous of his life. I'm going Jim Nance.
Yeah.
He's on my list.
Just Final Fours, NFL football.
He does it all.
The Masters, like that guy has a heck of a life. He's seen some great sports, and he does a great job, like on every broadcast. Just classy. Yeah. So I'm gonna go Jim Nance to my number. Dar, good luck finding a great call from Jim Nance. I'm not sure there is one, but he's got he's just great at what he does.
I wish one of y'all would have. This is not my pick, but I wish one of y'all would have took Brent Musburger first, so I could have pulled up the AJ McCarron, Catherine Webb. That would have been a class.
Dude, we should have asked Musburger about sports betting because I'm sure he's got some stories.
He's got tips.
He's been in trouble.
Do you guys remember NCAA basketball, like the early 2000s games? They had the dream team duo of Gus Johnson and none other than Bill Rafferty.
Oh, that's so good.
We got the dream team. We got the Minutemen. I used in that game. I used to purposely switch from zone to man just to hear him say it every single time.
Dar, Jim Nance, Grant Hill, and the Wolfpack start. That's a great pick. Great pick.
He called a ton of the Wolfpack Final Four run.
Yes, he did. Rafferty, great pick, Dar.
All right, so wait, Dar, you went Rafferty?
Yep.
All right, perfect. All right. Well, number 2 on my list was Gus Johnson. And all it just says is Big 12 Saturday, Omar Cooper, touchdown. But that one already got taken.
The lost voice.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna take us back, and this is a legendary call for one of the OGs, the Kirk Gibson home run. We're going Vin Scully, number 2.
Oh, he was on my gosh. Vin, do you think anybody's seen more baseball in their life than Vin Scully?
Nope, absolutely not.
I used to love to listen to him talk about Dan Uggla. Dan Uggla, Swedish for.
That's a great.
That's back when MLB Network would religiously have the home broadcast of the Dodgers could be playing anywhere. They could be playing in freaking Taiwan, and they would have Vin Scully on the call just for that.
Man,
I would love to hear Vin Scully talk about Ohtani's betting scandal.
I was just going to say that. Like, he's somehow involved.
Ohtani's interpreter stole $14 million from him.
The median age of Ben's team is like 93.5.
It's so old.
some veterans. Respect tradition.
All right,
I'll try to just stick with like I don't know, all-time professional. I'm gonna go Joe Buck. Bunch of different calls.
Strong.
Baseball, football. He can do it all. A guy who I feel like his stock has only risen over the years. I feel like a lot of people were not a big fan, and maybe not. I don't. Ben's shaking. Ben's like, I'm not a big Joe Buck guy.
No, I love Joe Buck. I was gonna say sleeper thing that Joe Buck did was when Fox had the U.S. Open. He was really good on the golf broadcast too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think he's one of those guys too. Marbs, like he could do anything. Like he is a natural. He's really good.
Like Nance. Yeah. Then I'm gonna go Mike Breen. Dang.
That was it. That was my next pick. That's a really strong team you're building right now.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Man.
So this guy can be polarizing. I used to get so fed up with him, but now I like spending my Sunday nights with him. Here's a guy Chris Collinsworth.
It's on the list.
You gotta do the slide. You gotta do the slide.
Do the slide in. Yeah, do the slide in.
Here's a guy. He loves football, man. He freaking loves it. Like,
Patrick
I can't wait to
Mahomes.
see when on Hard Knocks when they're showing Darnold throw like the perfect spiral, talking about spin rate. Like, I can't wait for Seattle's first Sunday night game. They're like, Mike, let me tell you about Darnold. See how tight he throws it to JSN. He loves it, man.
I don't know, Jim.
He loves it.
That's a great pick.
If I have Gus Johnson and Bill Rafferty, do I just for the sake of this take the Hornets play-by-play guy? Just to have the all scream team.
He's on my list. He's on my list.
No, I'm going. This is no one's gonna really know him unless you are like a Cavs guy. But I'm taking Fred McLeod, R.I.P. He absolute legend for the Cavs. Called the NBA Finals. He had some really famous like one-liners, like "hot as a match," and like if you will watch like all Kyrie's Cleveland highlights early in his career, he's just like he went video game on him, like just like all these one-liners with Austin Carr, another Cavs.
He had him ready.
So
I love it.
I'm going Fred McLeod. He was literally in tears when the Cavs won the championship.
All right, so I got my last two picks. I still have 16 names to choose from here. So the first one, I know some people can't stand this guy. I don't care. I love him. I'm going Dickie V.
Oh,
like I love Dick Vitale. Up and away, the elevator man, diaper dandy. Like he's got some all-time calls. Loves college basketball. So I'm going Dickie V. And then my last.
He called NFL or he called college players prostitutes. You're good. You're good with that.
And be as bad as Howard Stern.
Got it.
Dar, clip that so my pick still looks good, okay? Oh, no, don't clip it. Edit it. Sorry.
Clip it.
All right, my last pick. This is my all-time favorite guys. He would fit in on a Ben's team because of his age. I'm going Hubie Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Like when I watch NBA basketball, he just knows the game. And there was a game LeBron had against Toronto, game 2 in the playoffs. LeBron, I don't know how many he had straight, but he said, he's hotter than fish grease. Oh, that was the other dog. Who's that? Mark Jones? What's his name? Mark Jones?
I think that's Mark Jones.
But Hubie Brown's like, I show you my fade. I see my fade. I make my fade. Like he was just analyzing every one of LeBron's moves. So I'm going old school. I'm going Hubie Brown with the last pick.
Was that game 2, Trey? The one where LeBron
It was game 2.
That little runner bank to win it?
No, that was it. That was at home. I think that was game. No, was that game 4?
That was game
3.
three.
But game 3. So it was a game after the one I'm talking about. This one was in Toronto when he was going. That touch shot was crazy.
Yeah.
LeBronto.
He owns Toronto.
The Cavs own Toronto.
Yes, they do.
All right. I got one more pick. I'm going to bring the average age.
Hold on, you can't skip
Are we
me.
skipping? Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I know I stole your pick, but
yeah, I'm taking Gus Johnson. My bad.
Hey, Dar might trade you. This is dynasty.
Yeah, C-.
No, I think I'm gonna take an ACC network legend. I'm taking Wes Durham.
Oh, strong.
All right.
I love Wes Durham. A lot of people don't like him as State fans because his dad, but like Wes, I don't know. He paints such a great picture of the game.
He does. That's a classy pick, Dar. Just a safe. That's a good 4th round pick. You can't go wrong with Wes Durham.
I can't have Gus Johnson and the Hornets play-by-play guy. I'd be the most unbearable broadcast of all time.
Eric Collins was on my list. See if I go with him.
Eric Collins feels like a little bit more of an honorable mention, and I'm going to round it out with Greg Olson.
I do like
that was gonna third
I
leg.
do like third. I do like third leg Greg from the.
He's just smart. Like when he was in there on the main Fox game the year before Brady came in, I was like, this guy's awesome. Like as much of a natural as anybody, and he's just the man. He just coaches middle school football in Charlotte with Jonathan Taylor, Jonathan Stewart, and Kuechly, and it's just knows ball to the nth degree. Like he's the man.
Dude, the Panthers radio booth is elite because it's literally Luke, Delhomme, and Anish. And Anish is a great play-by-play guy.
He is. Does he do their radio?
He does their radio. Yeah, he took over from Mick Mixon years ago.
He's awesome.
That guy was good. Mick Mixon. He was good.
Great. Gary Hahn would have been elite for number one just to hear the down in El Paso.
Yeah, Gary Hahn's crazy. I'm not going to say what this guy says. But there's a baseball call where like a guy said something he shouldn't have said.
Oh,
and he's doing his apology, he's on the and he's like, "I'd like to deeply swing and a drive. This ball is belted."
The best part is he literally calls the ACC CW games for football and basketball.
It's a good spot for him.
Oh yeah, Tom Brenneman.
Tom Brenneman. Yeah.
Not a big fan of Kansas City.
No.
All right. Well, I'll round us out here. Started with a John. I'm gonna end with a John. I'm gonna go John Gruden. 2Y banana.
Oh, Marbs.
Just another kind of controversial one. I hope he finds his way back to the booth, man. He was great. Monday Night Football.
Was he on the Monday night? Because he was only on Monday Night Football for a couple years, right? Was that when Booger was in the Booger Mobile? Was that the same broadcast?
They did overlap.
That was insane.
Yeah. No, that was peak. They were doing
that was so much fun.
Wasn't it Mike Tirico and Gruden?
Yes. Yeah. And Mike Tirico was on my list.
He was on my list too.
Mentions. Yeah.
Marbs,
he's someone that does them all.
Marbs, do you watch any of Gruden's like Barstool stuff? Like
I've seen some of the highlights. I've seen him break down some film or like unboxings. I've seen him do some unboxing of equipment. Yeah. He likes
the NC State Wolfpack, man.
Yeah.
If you have 16 minutes like tonight or tomorrow, there's like a Gruden mic'd up video on YouTube. You've probably seen it. That like if I get bored, I can just I can't get enough John Gruden content, man. He's hilarious.
He's so funny.
Gruden's great quarterback school.
All right, before we do honorable mentions, we got some good teams. I'll run down the teams. So Mark had the first pick. We got John Madden, Joe Buck, Mike Breen, and John Gruden. That's classy. I got Vern Lundquist, Vin Scully, Here's a Guy, and Greg Olson. Dar has Gus Johnson, Bill Rafferty, Onions, Fred McLeod, and Wes Durham, ACC legend. And Trey has Chris Berman, Jim Nantz, Dickie V, and Hubie Brown. I mean, that's strong all the way around.
That's a great 16 guys.
You were talking about honorable mentions. Have you heard Eric Collins call NFL football games?
No.
He's almost he called a Panthers game last year.
Oh, I think I did see that. And he just goes crazy.
Just like a regular 3rd and like 5. And he just like loses it. I guarantee no one might be more upset of the LaMelo Ball trade than Eric Collins.
Yeah. He's gonna show up in Minnesota.
As a Cavs fan who gets forced to listen to a Hornets broadcast, I can only bear it. If the Cavs are winning, it's fun. When the Cavs start losing, you just get 10 times more mad because he's just yelling at you and you're just like watching your team give up a giant run and he's just constantly yelling at you for every shot.
Go nuts.
I actually like when when pro sports teams like their broadcasters are like so biased.
Yeah.
Like I appreciate that.
They should be.
They're like call out the refs, like they think everything's against them. Like I respect the bias of like the professional home team guys.
100%.
My original top 5 list, I actually included the Braves radio guy and the Braves like play-by-play guy, Brandon Gaulden and Ben Ingram, but Gaulden's famous. A lot of people, a lot of people know Gaulden because he's the guy that does Madden. Like he voices like I haven't played Madden in years, but he's like one of the main play-by-play voices, and he does Fox and Braves Vision and all that stuff. He's really good.
Honorable mention, Jeff Francoeur for talking Braves. Great in the booth.
Skip Carey.
Smoltz.
The deep pick, and I decided he wasn't Mount Rushmore worthy, but I'll throw him on the honorable mentions. And I'm going to guess that you guys didn't know this, but Tony Kornheiser was up in the booth Monday Night Football back in like the
Really?
90s.
I do like Kornheiser.
And he was just like attention span of a gnat. Like whatever was going on, his mind would just wander off to it. They got into some argument about wide receivers. I think his co-host or play-by-play guy was like, "See, this is why." I think they were talking about Steve Smith or one of the like 5'9" wide receivers. Like, this is really what you want in a wide receiver. I would take one of these small guys, fast guys, over anybody else. Connor's like, really? Everything being equal, and one guy's 6'5" and he's 5'9". You're going with the 5'9" guy. Oh yeah. Oh
yeah.
Marbs, what show did you like more growing up? Around the Horn or PTI? Like that 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock window was like a crucial time.
Great.
I was around the Horn for me just because of the game aspect, getting your points up. I thought Woody was funny, had to
Woody
see what
Page,
was
yeah.
on board. Yeah.
Bomani.
When it flashed up the
Bomani
Raleigh
crushed
thing
it.
back when Bomani was doing sports
Yeah,
radio,
that was very
I was
cool.
like, oh, put the city on the map.
Yeah.
I had like a lot of pride with that.
And then he would just
I
start
do.
saying some outrageous stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Around
was the
Horn
original
great.
bald takes.
That's it.
Original ball takes. I'm a big
Hey, I gotta
Bomani guy.
know. Me too. All right, this is my shout out to Carl Holder again. So I don't know if he was ever on a live broadcast, but do you guys remember Lou Holtz on like Sunday morning, like when he would get out the helmet stickers
Breaking
and he
it
was just
down.
John May? Mark May.
Oh.
Was it Mark May?
Mark May. Lou Holtz. How about I put John, probably this would be from Mike Trevsky, like John McEnroe is like great on like Wimbledon. Like Chris Fowler's another one I had just because he does so many like variety of things. No one said Herbstreit.
Nah.
No,
Hold on. Does Lee Corso count?
We're an honorable mention.
Because Lee Corso, if you go back and watch, like I ended up stumbling across like his best like game day like things he said that he shouldn't. Like when he called the kid that and he's like stupid with guns. And he just takes the head off, he's like, F it, and just throws the head, and they're in the curb streets in shambles. He's just like what are we doing? Honestly, Pat McAfee would be up there if he called more games. Like a lot of people don't like Pat McAfee, but he's hilarious. When he lost it, when he absolutely lost it, that episode, him and Desmond Howard lost it when Reese Davis was explaining what link means, and they were like, "That's a good one." No, we didn't. That and the that's an all-time clip, and the Tim Tebow and them laughing about the haircut with what's his name, the guy from the SEC that roused up at his big bald, and they were asking what does he ask for a haircut? And they just start laughing nonstop. Those are like two classic videos I will stop and watch 150,000 times in a row.
Let a naysayer know it's a good
Tebow is just losing it.
Hey, no one said Jay Billis.
He's classy.
ESPN.
He's a ball knower.
How about Joe Rogan for UFC? What do we think about Joe Rogan?
That's a good one. Yeah.
That one counts for sure. I just don't watch any UFC.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. The only one I had was Doris Burke.
Oh yeah.
In case if I like really needed if I needed a late round pick. Dottie Pepper's great.
Dottie Pepper's out there. She's always out there.
Debbie Antonelli.
Oh, Debbie, dude. Who would be like your go-to? We're getting off topic. Who cares? Who is there like one person you can't stand to listen to, like in sports
Doris
media?
Burke.
Really?
Whoever does the college football video game when they're calling the plays and my team's sucking. Like I can't remember if it's Kirk Herbstreit or somebody else, but I'm like, I'm out. It might be Jesse. What's his name?
Is it Jesse Palmer?
Might be Jesse Palmer on it. And I'm just like, nope. Oh, we're muting. Yeah, I'm telling my fourth pick today. We don't need to hear it, boss.
I had one I can't stand. He's not a live guy, but the dude who commentates U.S. soccer, Alexi Lawless, on Fox. Dude, I can't. Oh man, like I can't listen to that guy. I've got to turn the TV off. He might be a good guy,
Zoltan
but I
was
can't
great
listen to him. Oh,
in the
it
studio.
was bad.
Who's the guy that's with Cowherd now? Because he makes Cowherd look like
Jason
he doesn't
McIntyre.
he makes Cowherd look like he fires off good takes 24/7.
I love Cowherd.
Yeah, but McIntyre is atrocious.
Ben, you're a big Ryan Russillo guy, right?
Oh yeah.
I like Marbs. You're Bill Simmons.
I like Bill. I like Ryan too.
You want to know
I
what
think Bill
take?
Simmons is funny.
You want to know what take would have made my Mount Rushmore if he counted? Would have been Kellerman, just for if the state of the universe, if the state of the universe was on the line and the Martians were coming tomorrow. Give me Iguodala.
Yeah. You gotta make
that
a
might be the best clip of like the last 15 years. It's so good.
Between that and the and like when they have like actual athletes on there, and Stephen A. Smith will run off something outrageous, and the like faces of them are just like they just want to jump over the table and just strangle him. Him and Perkins. Kendrick Perkins, another one. I just full stop. Do not want to say anything.
All right, so
I've heard talking about Ben Simmons, or Ben Simmons is here. We're good, LeBron. We don't need you. That's a great one.
That's an all-timer. That's an all-timer.
But dude, here's the thing: those guys get like roasted. I know I've had so many bad sports takes that just haven't. Like,
and they're doing it for hours.
Dude, I compared. There was a quarterback at State. His name was Matt McKay. He was from Raleigh, went to Wakefield. I saw him play one game. I said, dude, he's like the next Russell Wilson. And I think that was like his last game starting. I think that was like his last game starting at State. So we've all had some bad takes. Hey,
you want to know what? I lost my train of thought. So you go. I'll come back to me at some point.
You sure?
Yeah.
Hey, Ben Woodward, real quick. So, did you want to mention something about the YouTube golf and LeBron's new thing?
No, I just wanted to. If we're going to do a Mount Rushmore of YouTube golf, it would be LeBron 1-1. Like he immediately vaults to the top. You know, I listened to the whole thing. I know Drew's a big good guy. I know you guys like Bryson a little bit. I'm a little partial to the fried egg myself, but like now that LeBron's in the game, like that's the first pick. And I can't believe that you guys did the Mount Rushmore, and then 3 freaking days later, LeBron's like, I'm launching a YouTube channel with the 2016 Cavs.
Do you think he watched our podcast and was like, I gotta like change these rankings and get to number 1? Dude, Tristan Thompson's tee shot. Did you watch the video? Number 1. Bad. It went backwards.
Channing Frye, sneaky stick.
He would be like the best golfer out of all of them. Like he looks like he would be.
I was gonna say, I remember what I was gonna say about Cowherd. Have you ever heard Cowherd try to talk baseball?
No.
He was talking with Jeter, and he said something about like you played with he's like you faced Nolan Ryan, and Jeter was like mid-season, like never faced Nolan Ryan. He retired 2 years before I came in the league, and like Cowherd was like all serious of like
ignored it.
You faced Nolan Ryan, and Jeter's just looking at him like, did you do any prep work for this? Like, anytime he talks baseball, it sounds like he just like randomly opened his laptop, saw something about the Dodgers, and said, I'm just gonna speak on it. Like with zero anything to back up his argument. It's like he's not a baseball guy. I get it, but like if you know you're not a baseball, like him and Stephen A, you're not baseball guys. Just don't talk about baseball. Just don't even bring it up. Dan Patrick would also be on my list of.
He's good. Marbs and Ben, do you guys have any like freezing cold takes that you've made sports wise, and you want to get them out there in the public to everybody, just like to move on from it?
Trey Lance is going to be good. Wait, that was
that's probably my Hall of Fame one right there. Got the jersey, just collecting dust.
The gold jersey.
Is there still time?
There's definitely still time, man. Okay. I think he's Herbert's backup. Maybe they moved on from him. But
should I add him to my QB sleepers this year?
Yeah. Yeah, he's a deep sleeper.
That's funny.
Drop him, man. If I ever make the finals,
those are my notes from earlier. Like you sent your list, Trey, and my notes for number 5, favorite player, Santana Moss, worst pick of all time, Trey Lance. That's all. Just one for each.
I still have a friend in my dynasty league that still believes in JJ McCarthy. So.
Oh God.
9.
Just needs a chance.
All right. So, hey, Ben and Marbs, real quick, before me and Dar are just going to talk a little about state basketball, like at the end.
Too.
But,
Oh, yeah.
and God, we got a new guest. God, we'll get you introduced. Ben and Marbs, real quick, before you guys slide out, I want to thank you guys a lot for like giving up an hour and a half of your time, man, to hop on. And I appreciate both of y'all. When we were starting this, I called both of you guys with some questions to like the Zoom stuff, and you guys are a big help to us. Before y'all go, do you guys want to kind of plug your fantasy podcast one more time and see, or no?
Sure. It's
Give us
Ben and Deck's Fantasy Adventures. You can find us on Spotify. We'll have weekly episodes once the season comes out. We should have a preview coming up whenever we get around to it, probably next week. And looking forward to a slew of new listeners.
Amen. Amen.
We'll take one bye week. We'll get at least 13 good weeks in there.
That's it. And we appreciate
We
y'all
could
having
use
us
some
on.
topics. So if you guys got any topics for us, let us know.
Hey, likewise, dude. I know y'all are like real creative. Like y'all got to help us out too. Like if y'all think of any good, just like conversation topics, like let me and Dar know and God, because like my brain don't work that good. So like shoot us some good topics.
We'll shoot them over.
Got it, man.
Appreciate y'all having us.
All right, fellas. Dar, you got anything from Ben and Marbs? Or we good?
We're good.
Dar, say thank you. No, I'm playing.
Peace.
See y'all.
See you guys. Hey, see y'all. All right. Gob, a.k.a.
What's
Ben
good?
Duncan, welcome to the last part of the segment 3 of episode 4, man. How you doing?
Oh, it's past my bedtime.
Back at
school.
I think we're doing this topic for Gob. Gob texted us as soon as the news broke, and you want an
Dude,
emergency podcast.
I wanted an emergency podcast. I was hyped.
What was the emoji you sent back to Gob? What did it say? Did we lose Dar?
I think so.
Darsky. What did he send back to you, Gob?
Oh God, I can't remember. I'm on my phone. I can't
Looking
remember.
at it. He sent back to you. He said, just take it easy, man. He was not feeling the emergency podcast.
I was hyped. I mean, the thing is, I still don't even know if like it'll like come in like until he plays on the floor. I won't believe it because like with all the lawsuits and stuff, and NCAA is trying to stop the 5th year. So like until he plays, I mean, there's still a chance it doesn't work out. But I think for everything I've heard, the 5 and 5 or the 5th year players from 2022 class are going to play. Mm-hmm. So I'm hyped. Just got my tickets today.
All right. So question, do you think where y'all sitting? Did your mom get it figured out?
Yeah, I think 105, I think. I think it's actually like the same section we were in last year. So got 3 tickets again, me, my mom, and my dad. So looking forward to it for sure.
Do they have any good home games this year, Gob? Like non-conference?
See, I mean,
who's coming to SEC Challenge? Who's the SEC Challenge game?
South Carolina.
That's at home though, right? Or no?
It's away. Dude, that might be the most like known non-conference home game. That's what I hate about all these like neutral site games and whatnot. Like, I know they're playing Tennessee and Nashville. They got Ole Miss in a neutral site in Mississippi. They're going to like a multi-team event. Like, there's like, oh crap, my phone fell.
You good?
Like that Kansas game last year, that was sick.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was so much fun. That was so much fun. And like, all these neutral site games just kind of harm, good non-conference home atmospheres. So
all right, Gob. So back to the Lubin thing, right? I think at first when the news was kind of like surfacing that is a possibility, right? At first, I was kind of against it. I think that was more just being stubborn about like the way college basketball is now, and just kind of like not against these kids, but just wanting to like move on and just get like back to some sort of like college basketball, right?
Yeah.
But the more I think about it, like, at the end of the day, like you're trying to win, right? And I think Lubin already has been at State. Like, he obviously knows at least Paul McNeil, and it seems like Paul McNeil is really excited he came back. From the outside looking in, it seems like Lubin is like a great dude who like everything's right about, like, just like a good guy, like plays hard, seems like a great teammate. He's not going to get in trouble, and he also had a very good year. So the more I start to think about it, like, why would you not add that guy if you can? Like, I think he's a borderline all ACC player. You get more size. I personally think he's definitely starting at the 4, correct? Like, I don't see any way he's not starting at the 4.
I would at least try it, I mean, I don't think you can have Kyle Evans on the bench, so like just with his shot blocking ability. Like, so I think you have to try, and I think a lot of people worry about the spacing, but with Edmead, Hammond, McNeil shooting up 40% from 3, they're gonna be fine.
Well, dude, my thing is I'll give up a little bit of spacing if I can score it, easy baskets inside or rebound better. Like the most efficient shot. Well, technically, I guess efficiency can be defined a lot of different ways. If I can get easy 2s inside, I will take that every day of the week.
Oh yeah.
And didn't he lead the ACC in like field goal percentage? Or shoot dang near like 70%?
No, he was number 1 in field goal percentage. And so like talking about like efficiency, like you can do it in different ways. The 2 most efficient scorers on State last year were McNeil and Van Allen Lubin. And they did it in different ways.
And I would also argue the 2 guys that seemed like they actually wanted to, well, in my personal opinion, the 2 guys that seemed like they wanted to like win the most and like were about the right stuff too. Like I didn't see any egos from those guys. So to bring both of them back from last year's team, those would have been the 2 guys I would have chose to bring back. And they brought both of them back. So I think it's nothing but a win.
Yeah. And I mean, now the front court depth is looking pretty good. I mean, if you got Val at the 4, Kyle Evans, and then off the bench you got Yalaho, Jerkovic, Mikey Wilkins, Shea. I mean, they got 6 dudes they can throw at the 4 and 5 spot.
Like, my thing is, like, I just think, like, and maybe the more we're sitting here talking, the more I'm talking myself into it being like an unbelievable pickup. Because, like, if you didn't have Val, you were probably starting Yalaho at the 4, right?
He's a stretch 4. Yeah.
But again, like, what do you average at Washington State? Not saying it like 10 points a game.
10 points a game.
And I think he can be a good player too. So I'm not knocking him at all. But I'm saying that is a big jump to the ACC. And now you just got a guy who's proven it at the highest level for back-to-back years, really, because he was good at Carolina too.
Yeah, he was good at Vandy too.
So I'm talking myself more into, like, you bump some of those guys back down like 1 step on the depth chart, they're still going to play. That just makes your team like so much better and deeper, like in my opinion.
Yeah, and they can play different styles and whatnot. And like, I mean, Val was 13 and like a little over 7, almost 8 boards a game. Like, how can you not say, nah, I don't want that? Like, but also I do agree with like the whole college landscape. Like it's a crapshoot. And, now the more I think about it, I'm like, well, our guy Peyton Wilson, he played 6 years. So you know what? Van Allen Lubin can play 5. It's okay.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's adapt or die. Like you might hate I'm sure Gainey probably doesn't like it, but it's going to benefit him,
Well, dude, I think too, like to your point, I'm glad you brought up Gainey. Like, and I have no reason to think this just besides kind of what I heard and what my general like feel is. I feel like Gainey he's going to do things the right way. He's not going to add a guy to add a guy because of their talent. Like, I think there has to be some sort of trust there and like relationship there. Like he wouldn't add him if he felt like it would have messed the whole team. Like, I've seen people like worry about the team chemistry. Well, dude, my thing is like half these guys next year probably aren't going to be here again anyway.
Exactly.
So like if they get upset about they get less playing time, like who cares? Like, no offense to him, like Gainey's he's trying to build a program the right way, but ultimately also try to win this year. So if a couple guys get a little SPT and they get mad and they leave, I mean, that's just the state of college basketball.
That's sports, man. That's sports.
Yeah. So you're in agreement. Go ahead.
Oh, I would. It's impossible. I would have liked knowing that they got Val. I kind of wish they would have used one of those front court players for like another backup guard. But like you can't predict that. Like you can't predict. Oh, we're gonna get Val. Like so. The only really concern I have is the backup guard depth, because after like Darius Adams, there's not a lot.
Well, I guess you're thinking that, like, I don't know if they're thinking maybe they would play McNeil some at the 2 as well.
Oh yeah, he will. And then
but,
RJ Keene at the 3.
But to your point, I mean, I think the really only true like ball handlers you would say are like, maybe get a bucket guys that would be Adams, Edmead, and Hammond. And God forbid something happens to one of those guys.
Yeah.
But
and then
I think there's enough
freshman Kingston Whitty.
Yeah.
But what if he's better than we think?
That's what I'm
saying. That would be huge.
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid already, dude. Dart, you back?
Yeah.
Well,
let's go.
Hey, Dart. Welcome back.
He's back.
Hey, so me and Gob talking a little bit about Lubin. Like, are you excited? Like, what are your thoughts about getting him back?
Yeah, I just gotta see how the fit works. It's gonna be clunky, but at the end of the day, you take it and figure it out later. I'm intrigued to see what's gonna happen. But it's also not a bad thing to bump a few guys down a peg in the pecking order. Just builds more creative depth.
That's what we were talking about. But dude, this is where spacing to me is so like I'm trying to think the best way to explain this. Like, obviously spacing is very important, but I feel like Michigan won last year, right? Like the national championship. I wouldn't say like a lot of times they played like 2 bigs and they found different ways to like
3.
You can space the court and like you can get a big at the top of the key and run actions. There's different ways you can space the court. I just think I'm really glad they brought it back now because it's a proven ACC all caliber ACC player that's going to be old that gives you a lot of depth. So I think it's nothing but a win-win.
Yeah, and obviously spacing can be a concern, but like Val and Evans aren't going to play 40 minutes together. Like you are going to have moments where you have Yelaho at the 4 who spaces it out. And even if Val and Evans are there, like you can put Val in a pick and roll up top and have Kyle Evans in the dunker spot. Like there's ways to get around it and whatnot.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be like Val and Evans are both just like posted up at the block, like camping out. Like basketball's gotten way too advanced and offense is like involved so much where they'll find a way to like get spacing while also using those guys what they do best to their advantage. So.
Dude, State made a Final Four and Burns and Middlebrooks played together. That worked.
Or DR.
DR could step out a little bit, but he was
no one was expecting that jump shot.
That's what I'm saying. I think Val could shoot just like it's like brings up DJ Funderburk. Like DJ Funderburk would step out, and I thought it would go in and not knocking him, but a lot of times like that it didn't go in. So they'll find a way to make it work.
I also think this feels more like a Gainey team. Bigger, gonna rebound the heck out of the ball. I still worry about the defensive talent, but Gainey's gonna coach him up. Like I don't think there's much individual defensive talent other than like Kyle Evans and RJ Keene, but Gainey's gonna coach him up for sure.
Okay, well, Dar, you know this too. When I think about Tennessee teams, I feel like they always have a really good guard. And for a lot of times, they had that Ziegler kid who was a small guard who, like, controlled everything. To me, that could be like the Preston Edmead kid, right? Then I feel like on the wings, they always had, like, big, tall, physical wings. And I by no means am saying, like, am saying Paul McNeil plays like Dalton Knecht because Dalton Knecht could jump out of the gym. But, like, he also is out there chucking threes at about 6'6". And then they always had 2 big guys, like, strong 4 and 5s. That would rebound the heck out of it and be good on defense. So, Gob, your point, like, not exactly tit for tat, but I do see a lot of, like, Tennessee, how they built their teams on this team now with adding Val back as well.
Yeah, I agree for sure. Yeah, like, I do think it, comparatively does feel like more of, like, a Gainey team that he's had at Tennessee for sure. But.
Dar.
Yep.
Do you think Val starts?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Oh.
And then I asked God the same thing. And then you think Evans starts at the 5?
Correct.
I've seen some guys on Twitter saying they could see what's his name, or Adams starting at the 2. I feel like I lean Hammond at the 2 to start, but
No.
Yeah,
I mean, they're not bringing a hand. No, Adams.
Yeah.
No.
Like,
so you think Hammond are?
Correct.
Yeah,
Adams was bad last year.
Adams would be a really bad fit playing with Evans and Val at the same time.
I feel like Adams is like perfect, like instant offense off the bench. Like go get a bucket. Like
Adams would be at his absolute best with a lineup on the floor with him. I doubt they're going to play this because I doubt they're going to have Val and Evans off the court. But if you put one of them at the 5 with Yalaho, even if you went straight up, you went Edmead, Adams, McNeil, Yalaho, Jurkovic. That would be a lineup that would be a dream for Darius Adams to get downhill because there's so much spacing and so much shooting that teams are almost in no help, and he's just one-on-one to the rim. And then he can make. If they drop, then he finds the open man for a shot. Or you get in straight pick and roll because he actually really was a good pick and roll ball handler. You get him pick and roll with Val or Evans with shooters around him, and he ends up in a really good spot.
Yeah, I agree. I think he does need a little more spacing to attack the rim.
But if he's playing in a lineup with Val, Evans, McNeil, and Edmead, that would be a really bad lineup for him.
I think there's a couple wild cards on this team. I think Adams is a wild card for sure. I think Mikey Wilkins is kind of a wild card. What if he's better than Jurkovic and Yalaho? He could be.
I was looking at the Bart Torvik that they had, and they had Yalaho as an extremely He is a darling of analytics offensively.
It's because he shoots 3. He shoots really well from 3.
So he's really efficient, which is why I think it's going to be really hard for him not to be a focal.
I don't see Mikey Wilkins being.
I just don't see Mikey Wilkins being enough. The state slimmed him down. I'm not saying that it increased his quickness and lateral movements, but he can't be worse than Darion Williams was the 3 last year.
I think that this is my hot take. I think Gainey at his heart is clearly a defensive guy. So I think whatever the bigs show they will defend the best and rebound the best are going to get the most tick. I think the guards, in my opinion, are going to do most of the scoring, which I think is how it should be. They're going to control the game. They're going to be the ones shooting. So give me whichever 4 and 5. And I think Val will obviously play the most. But other than that, give me the other guy who's just going to defend and rebound. I don't know who that's going to be.
Let me ask you this. So a lot of defense is less about individual defense and more about team defense.
See, I would completely disagree with that.
In terms of how State's going to be successful.
You're not turning me into a good defender.
No, but if I surround you with guys who are going to be there and make the right rotation over, and everybody's on the right page with the rotations, we can hide you enough to still be a good team defensively. Those Virginia teams, was every single player on the floor an elite defender? Or did they play great connected team defense at a time? Now, yes, Malcolm Brogdon.
They had DeAndre Hunter and Diabite.
Anderson, those guys are well, ironically enough, we talk about DeAndre Hunter in college being some elite defender. He's an absolute traffic cone in the NBA and has been his entire career. How much was it was he actually an elite defensive player, or he was in a system that highlighted his strengths and he had guys around him that were able to allow him to play to what his strengths were and use his wingspan?
I think the thing with Virginia too, and this is a complete other topic. I don't know how to justify this. The thing that also made their defense look really good is they held the ball for 30 seconds on offense. So and that's where I don't know their defensive efficiency or whatever. But if you're just not you, but in general, if you just look at the points per game, it's like a team that runs a triple option in football. You're not there's going to be way less possessions, which is going to be way less points. Which I give Tony Bennett credit in that he had a style of play he wanted to play on both sides of the ball, but I think
their efficiency was still crazy. But their efficiency was still crazy.
But even look at Virginia last year. They didn't have all these incredible all ACC defensive players on the perimeter. They did a great job of limiting your open threes and funneling you into probably the best shot blocker we've seen in the ACC in a long time.
No doubt.
So
Are we
State,
gonna see wide open corner threes this year?
I think what Gainey's going to do is he's going to get his guys they're going to compete. They're going to make mistakes, but they're going to try to push and funnel right into your shot blocker, which is Kyle Evans. But State is also not going to have Evans just anchored in the paint in a drop. They're going to Evans. They think he's athletic enough to get out there, to move his feet, to do different defensive coverages and recover. But it's all going to. Most of defenses want. You can teach guys to play defense. You can't teach guys to score.
I agree with that.
So like it all comes down to if all those guys who are not maybe great individual defenders are on the same page, they know their rotations, they know where their help's going to be, and they know how to play to their help. You can make a team be good defensive. State right now is projected to be number 78 defensively in Torvik. Say State gets to top 50 defensively with a top 10 offense. That's going to be an incredible team. They don't need to be the number 10 defense in the country to be successful. And honestly, the majority of State's defensive rebounds defensive issues this past year wasn't even straight up original defense. It was horrendous rebounding, which led to wide open threes. So if you get a team that can rebound the ball at a high rate, you're going to be a good defender because you're limiting team second choice chances, or offensively you're creating more opportunities for yourself, which is then limiting the other team's offense. Sometimes your best defense is your offense. Forcing teams to play at your pace, forcing teams to try to score with you. And sometimes you get teams to start playing out of you get a team that's not a great 3-point shooting team and you're knocking down threes at a high clip. You get them to play outside their game and you end up making them play to their weaknesses, which is what I think what Will Wade wanted to do. But his weaknesses was allowing dudes to take wide open 3-point shots where you had 14 business days to decide if you wanted to shoot it or not. So I think it just all comes down to being on the same page, knowing your rotations, and can you rebound? If you rebound, your defense, you'll be amazed how much better your defense numbers are when you just rebound. Like all those Carolina teams in the past under Roy Williams that were like known as like great defense teams, they rebounded the crap out of the basketball, which made their defensive metrics 10 times better than it probably likely really was. Most teams have really good first shot defense. After that, it gets risky.
I agree. I also think going back to like individual, I think X factor wise, I think if Darius Adams wants to play a lot, I feel like he could be a good defender if he wanted to. Just the like athleticism and the size, because like individual, like I don't know if Edmead and Hammond and McNeil are good. They're not good individual defenders. At least I think
I've heard the Edmead guys is going to be pretty dang good.
He's
a really good on the ball. That's what they said, but I don't know.
Hammond actually graded out good individual like one-on-one defense. Like guys didn't beat him. Like I'm not saying he's not.
Cut your water off.
He's not Marcus Smart, but he's going to compete. He's going to get a hand up. He's going to force you into a bad shot. Honestly, if teams want to try to post us up and beat us in the mid range all year, good luck, because the way State's built to play offensively, that math ain't going to math most games. If you want to beat us with all twos and middies, go for it. If we're knocking down 12 to 13 threes a game or 9 to 10 threes a game, and you're knocking down 5 or 6, you're going to lose that math battle every time.
Hey, so let's end it with this. I don't know about you. I'm getting a little tired, Dar.
Yeah, I actually have to work tomorrow.
Would you guys feel like getting Lubin back takes State, like however you like want to tier it? Like say State you had them here. Do you feel like getting Lubin back takes them up a tier? Do you feel like it kind of keeps them where they are? Like what do you think bringing him back does to State's like overall chances of the team?
I think you go from fringe top half of the ACC to like guaranteed top half of the ACC, and that's about it. You're not going top like quarter. You're not going top echelon ACC, but you're going from middle tier, like borderline top 9, 10 to I think you're now well inside the top 9.
Fair. I like that, Dar.
Yeah, I thought like State was kind of like, now I know the term expanded, so I'm just basing off of the old 68 or whatever. I think they were probably a bubble team before Val. I feel like with adding him, like this should be a tournament team.
Yeah.
Now ACC talks. I mean, they're not better than Duke or Louisville or Virginia or probably even Miami, but like Dar said, they could be in that 5 to 7 range. I think for sure.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like I don't know what it looks like. I would say top 25 is probably still, you got to see it before you can say that. But I mean, honestly, between 25 and like 40, 45, is there really a big difference there? Probably not. Probably who's hot, who wins the games they need to. I definitely think, like y'all said, State's kind of in that tier of like borderline top 25 for sure. Probably in the tournament where before they might have been, like Dar said, kind of like on the bubble. So I think it's a great pickup. Dar, do you want to give a quick little Braves update?
They're 7.5 up. They were 9.5 up at one point last week. Now they're back to 7.5. They're losing right now. They give up 4. They hold on. Let's play. This is a fun one because I just saw this stat literally 30 seconds ago. They gave up 4 runs in the first today. Guess what the hardest hit ball of the whole inning was?
Like 55 miles per hour.
88 miles per hour is the hardest hit ball of the 4 hits in the first inning of the 4 runs.
Hey,
2 walks will compound that.
What's an average home run like exit velo? I have no idea.
Probably low 100s.
God, what do you think the exit velo of like the hardest ball you ever gave up was?
I was literally thinking, I was like, what was Will Butler's exit velo?
Dude, I gave up a grand
I don't
slam.
know. Kaz Silver had a pretty high exit velo that ball off you, at least.
My senior year, I gave up 3. I gave up 2 to Will Butler, 1 to Kaz Silver. My junior year.
Hey, but God, don't forget, weren't you Cat 8 pitcher of the year?
I was.
Add that in there, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
I would love to know the exit velo of that ball that Max Schrock hit at Sanderson. That thing landed halfway up the trees on the hill and right.
That was a bomb.
I gave up a bomb to him in Legion Ball once. The hardest ball I ever gave up. So I'm going to keep this short and sweet because I need to go to bed. So freshman year, I didn't pitch at all. Like not 1 inning, 0, zilch. Didn't pitch me. Got a new JV coach my sophomore year. Started 1 game on JV, and then the next games, Smothers called me up to varsity. So I'm a sophomore. I'm like, oh my God, I made varsity, whatever. We're going to play Apex. And they have Chris Diaz, who was an All-American at State. And I hung a changeup, and he sent that, oh God, to the moon. It was bad. It was really, really bad.
I gave up a homer at East Wake on a changeup, and then I hit the next guy in the ribs with like 75.
Dude, hey, I remember Ben Woodward ripping one off Dave at Sanderson on JV.
I got to hit off Dave. I got to hit off Dave. Drew almost threw me out from right field.
I should have told Ben Woodward. Did he hit lefty?
No, he hit righty.
Dude, I remember him. Did he play baseball at Sanderson, right?
Yeah.
I remember him smoking one off Dave.
Hey, shout out Ben Woodward, man. Shout out Ben Woodward. All right.
So, Trey, you want to know the most impressive home run I ever saw in high school? It was our sophomore year. Max Gagnon took Chris Beefus backside 385 at Sanderson. And if you've ever seen Sanderson's ball field, you understand how impressive a backside 385 hit was at that stadium. That ballpark played massive. Greenville Rose never saw a ballpark that big.
Any home run at Sanderson is impressive, man. That's a big part. All right, so hey, Dar, we cool wrapping up for today?
Sure.
All right, hey, before I do end, we want to thank you guys if you're still here with us 2 hours and 10 minutes later. Appreciate y'all. But for real, man, great episode. Appreciate y'all listening. We'll get the video out and some clips. Give us some feedback. God, appreciate you hopping in late, talking a little Pack hoops.
Of course, go Pack, baby.
Dar, was that your favorite? Did you enjoy the Mount Rushmore draft of sports broadcasters?
Oh, yeah. If anybody wants to be nice and help me out since I'm back working, if anybody wants to send me some screen recordings of different clips from the video to post, feel free to make my job easier.
Amen. That was fun though. Fellas, y'all have a good rest of the night, man. Ball Takes episode 4 out. Peace. Stop. Darsky.